A new Wall Street Journal poll shows that Vice President Kamala Harris has taken a narrow lead over former President Donald Trump. Harris had 48% support to Trump's 47% in a head-to-head test, claiming an advantage within the survey's margin of error.
This poll has heightened importance in some ways because it's coming right after the Democratic National Convention, and that convention and the weeks leading up to it were so crucial for Kamala Harris as she tried to essentially reintroduce herself to the American public.
Okay, let's get to business. Let's get to business.
Here are the major takeaways from the poll. According to the poll, more than 80% of people say they feel like they know enough about Harris to have an opinion about her.
There could be some downside there if she's still trying to tell people things about herself, but it's clear that she has established herself with voters in a way, and at least some of the story she's trying to tell appears to be breaking through. You really saw this in full display at the Democratic National Convention, an effort to tell a story of Harris both as a politician but also as a person.
The middle class is where I come from. My mother kept a strict budget. We lived within our means, yet we wanted for little.
And the story she's trying to tell is that she is somebody who is thinking about the middle class. She is concerned about prices and the price of housing. She has plans to try and work on these issues. She's trying very hard to connect with voters and say that she understands and is going to fight for them.
But Trump still holds advantages over Harris on key issues like the economy and immigration.
And that, I think, is probably part of the reason you're seeing his advisors really want him to focus on policy, want him to focus on issues like that, because that is where he is the strongest.
On day one, I will seal the border and I will stop the invasion of millions of people into our country.
Harris, on the other hand, has expanded her lead as the candidate best suited to handle abortion rights.
And that's significant because we have had a series of elections now where we've really seen huge numbers of people turn out to vote on abortion, and it's going to be on the ballot in some of these key states. So that could be very meaningful for her.
Despite falling behind in some policy points, Harris's favorability overall is higher than Trump's, according to the poll.
Harris's improving numbers in a lot of these categories suggest that Trump has really struggled to land an effective critique of her, that his efforts to, label her extreme or out of step with a lot of the public haven't really worked yet.
Voters also have a largely unfavorable view of Project 2025, a conservative policy agenda assembled by the Heritage Foundation think tank and its allies.
Trump has worked pretty hard to try and distance himself from Project 2025. He has said that this is not a blueprint for another administration, but certainly Democrats for now seem to have been pretty successful in giving the public a negative view of these policies.
Their Project 2025 will make things much, much harder for people who are just trying to live their lives.
As we're looking ahead, we're going to see both of them out in the battleground states a lot. That's happening already. There's going to be a lot more campaigning. And the next really big opportunity for both of them is the upcoming debate on September 10th in Philadelphia. And both sides see that as a big opportunity to remind voters about the candidates and to really see them against each other for the first time.